need to think about. Everybody, mostly everybody who wants to move to Florida, they want to do so. They were down there, they were vacation, or they're sick of the cold where they live, so they want to live down there and enjoy this fabulous life and be on like a vacation every day. But trust me, especially for those of you coming from a cold state, can you really handle that heat all the time, non-stop? If you can, here's some tips, okay? Now, most people who want to move to Florida, they want to come and they want to move near the beach. Before you make that decision, you have to know living by the beach is very expensive. Not just the rentals or the cost of housing, or even if you buy a house, you have to understand that your insurance is sky high. Now, most mortgages will require insurance, all right? So you're like, okay, no big deal. I'll just buy a house in an area that doesn't require insurance. Stop right there. You have to understand, even if the house does not require insurance, you might still get flooded. And if you don't have flood insurance, your house will not be covered. Look at a map. Florida is basically a big swamp. So let me tell you, even if you're not by the beach, 9 times out of 10, your house is going to get water damage during a storm. And if you don't have that flood insurance, and let's say you bought a $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 home, all your money is gone. And you're stuck paying this huge payment every month on a home that is not even livable because it was damaged by floods. And trust me, those insurance companies down there, they're not like the ones up here in the north. You know, they already know how to skip around the law, because that's the main thing in Florida is damage from high winds, hurricanes, and storms. I know people that live 30 minutes drive inland and their house gets flooded, the floor, during hurricanes. And they don't have basements like they do in the Northwest. So when your house gets flooded, we're not talking your basement. We're talking your living room, your brand new furniture. So for those people who say, well, I'm going down there and I'm renting, so it don't apply to me. Yes, it does, because then you're going to lose your brand new white furniture. So, or your TV or your electronics. So you need to really think about that. Moving to Florida, insurance can sometimes be almost the cost of what rent would be. It depends what type of insurance. So just because you're looking at a cheap price, you really got to think about that. You're living your life on risky territory if you decide not to get flood insurance. Number 2, everything in Florida, it's pretty much a new state, is far away. You got to drive here, drive there. So let's say you're older and you're whatever, you want to go and you want to live by the beach, so you can walk on the beach. You might want to think there's some nice towns in Florida, really nice towns that are walking distance. You know, you could live in like a nice home, Victorian home, whatever, and walk to a little town, you know, and enjoy it. A little city. So, you know, maybe you can save money and move to Florida and move to like a town, let's say like close to St. Petersburg downtown, or Tarpon Springs downtown, or, you know, you never know. And you could get a nice price on a nice house, and you can still walk in nice warm weather. So you might want to consider that. You don't have to be on the beach, you know, if you're trying to move somewhere warm and it be affordable. Also, you want to look, I was shocked. The crime rate in Florida is extremely high. I almost fell over. Couldn't believe it. I didn't realize that they had such high crime, and I live in a high crime city. You know, I have a friend also, she moved down to Tampa for 2 years, and when she came back, she kind of made me laugh. I said, why'd you move back? She said she got tired of seeing homeless people everywhere, and she just wanted to walk and hold a Starbucks in her hand and enjoy downtown. So for those of you from the Northwest, which is most of us who moved to Florida, we're used to seeing, these big buildings, holding our Starbucks, walking around. It's kind of enjoyable. We don't realize it, but it is. And when you get to Florida, you're not getting that. You know what I mean? So be careful out where you choose where you live. If you like nice hot coffee, that habit might soon change. It's hard to drink hot coffee in 90-degree weather. Also, any state in the United States that has warm weather is going to have homeless people way more than where you're living right now. Are you able to bear seeing that every day? That's something you don't see on TV and the tourist blogs and these little YouTubers that are, taking videos and drones, and oh my God, it's so beautiful. They're not showing you what you're gonna see. And a lot of these hot Florida cities have a huge homeless population. All right, now we're very kind people, we're loving people, and we feel bad, but honestly, if you're seeing that every day, it can be a little bit depressing, walking out of your house and constantly seeing people homeless in the street. It's depressing, and that's a big problem for people who live in Florida. Another thing is, do you want to live in a ghost neighborhood? You're like, what the hell does that mean? I mean, the house that I'm seeing online, it's beautiful, it's got a pool. Guess what? 9 times out of 10, that neighborhood, the same people who live there are people who live up north. Okay, so come once it hits, a lot of people go down there and they buy property, and then they move back up and change their mind. So what I say by ghost neighborhood, you might move into a neighborhood and you're the only person living in that neighborhood. There's no one around. All the windows are closed and shut. You don't have no one to socialize with. So your dream of starting a new life and making friends is out the door. So these are things that you want to think of before you move to Florida. All right? So to be continued.